Alright, what's going on, guys? So the new update for Elden Ring Nightreign just now went live, at the time of me recording this, with the new Everdark Sovereign boss fight of Darkdrift Knight, or Fulgore Champion of Nightglow. Now, I thought they were going to go in order and do Sentient Pest next, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Instead, we got Darkdrift Knight. But I hopped on as soon as this update went live, and surprisingly managed to beat this fight on the first attempt. Now there's a lot going on in this enhanced version of the boss fight. We're going to break all of that down. We've also got a new relic that unlocks after you beat it, and we'll break that down too. And then I kind of need to rant because this run that I just had gets into a point of major contention with Nightreign right now that I have got to talk about. And you might notice it here on the results screen of the run. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I'm going to get into that later on. But as we get started today, if you want to stay up to date on all things Elden Ring Nightreign and Fromsoftware, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and now let's get into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about this new Enhanced Nightlord. So like I said, we have the enhanced version of Darkdrift Knight. When you first go into this fight, it's going to start out in the second phase. Now, in order to unlock this fight in the first place, you're going to have already beaten it at least once. So I'm not going to break down every move right here, because this isn't anything new. It's kind of like Adele Baron of the Night, where the new parts of the fight don't start until he gets to about 50% health. So let me give kind of a general overview of how this fight went. Again, I've only fought him one time, but it was a successful run. This fight was surprisingly easy, and I definitely don't say that to brag, because I struggled big time with Enhanced Gaping Jaw. At least in trios, that one took me a long time to get a successful run. It wasn't bad solo, but with other people, it was a nightmare. Now, compared to Gaping Jaw, Fulgore is much more deliberate with his moves. They're generally more telegraphed. There is a lot of AoE damage, especially if you don't cancel his charge attack, which surprisingly in the enhanced fight works exactly the same way. You can stagger him out of it, which is surprising considering that Gaping Jaw did not retain that poison weakness. Now, we didn't even get a lightning weapon. We didn't have a single one drop on our whole run, but we were still able to stagger him out of that charge every single time. So when you see him charging up, get in there and start spamming jump attacks. Or if you're Raider, the skill worked really well, or anybody else, just charge your ult. Now, we did get pretty lucky with the abilities we got on this run. I had so much damage negation on Raider, he really wasn't doing very much damage to me at all. And my Wilder here got the bonus damage on critical hits, so every time we staggered him, he would run over and get that bonus damage in. And that's how we knocked out the first 50% of health pretty fast, but this is where the enhanced fight begins. In the phase transition, you will see his arm explode, and he'll begin to float up in the air. Now, I tried to catch him with the ult here, that did not work. He seems to be invulnerable right now. I also expected him to come down with an explosion, that didn't happen either. So it seems like right here in this transition, that's a decent time to get some quick damage in. But there you'll see one of the new attacks, where he shoots an arrow up into the air, and it creates this cloud that summons falling arrows down that go off in a trail. Now, throughout the enhanced portion of the fight, he will be shooting these arrows randomly, but they'll target onto one player. I got hit by it, but overall it's not that hard to dodge. Now, an attack that is very hard to dodge is this, where he turns his sword into a twin blade and starts doing a super long combo. And I think there are two variations of that. Now, this attack here, when you see him begin to start trotting into the sky, run away as far as you can. This is going to be a nuke. You have plenty of time to get out of there, and the range doesn't seem to be that crazy. But again, you see him flying up there, just start running and you'll be alright. Now you'll see him do the twin blade attack here again. This is the second variation, the much longer version of the combo, and he even switches between us, so it's going to be really hard to dodge. If he's not targeting onto you and you're running trios, don't feel comfortable, because you can still get hit by the back of the blade, and he can switch targets at any point, it seems like. Now, like I said, there are two variations of that attack. The first one is a short combo that ends with an AoE, and the second one is the much longer combo that does not. Again, that's just what I saw in my run. It might be different, but that is something to just keep in mind. But I believe those are all of the new attacks. He spammed this twin blade move a lot on us. Maybe there's a new attack he did not use, but he also did the normal phase 2 attack where he charges the sword and sends out a shockwave. He did that quite a bit. Again, pretty easy to dodge. It's very telegraphed. Now, like you can see, I was using Raider for this fight. I think he is pretty broken in this, honestly. All the defense here, especially the upgrades I got, really made his attacks kind of pathetic, to be honest. I mean, he really wasn't doing that much damage. Maybe if you're playing one of the other characters like Duchess or Executor, he can one-shot you. And PSA, guys, please, if you cannot dodge attacks, stop playing those glass cannon characters. Nothing will kill a run faster than having to constantly revive a teammate that does not know how to dodge. Switch on over to Raider, you'll be much better off. But that's pretty much everything about this fight. I didn't think it was that bad. Definitely felt better than Enhanced Gaping Jaw, like I said, but that's entirely subjective on my part. So hopefully if you did not get the kill over Enhanced Adele, you'll find find this one to be better off. If you're having trouble, just keep trying, guys. Eventually you will get it. But let's talk about what you get when you do beat it. Now, aside from the standard rewards for beating a run, I ended up getting 26 Sovereign Sigils for beating this. Now, somebody left a comment in my last video talking about they wish for the first time that you got 20 Sovereign Sigils for beating it. And for some reason, that's now leaving me very confused, because I'm pretty sure that's how much I got for beating Gaping Jaw the first time too. Now, you'd think they'd round it to an even 25, but if there are other factors that go into that, please correct me down in the comments below. But popping over to the collector's signboard, you will now see a new relic, Dark Knight of the Champion, which increases maximum stamina, boosts attack power of added affinity attacks, and adds the effect of defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge. Now, where my mind goes with the utility of this relic would be to combine it with something like Knight of the Lord, which adds a random elemental affinity when switching weapons. So I do think this is pretty good. There might be better options, but if you guys can think of a really good relic combination with this one, definitely leave it down in the comments section below. But what do you think about Dark Knight of the Champion relic? Now, here's the portion of the video where I gotta rant a little bit. Now, something you might have noticed about the score screen at the end of the run was that even though only 2 of us were fighting the final boss, there were 3 of us originally on this run. And that's because the recluse that was alongside us ended up leaving. Now, you'll notice in real time in this fight, as soon as they leave, the damage we're dealing on the boss scales up significantly. The game corrects for now only having 2 players. So what could possibly be the reason that we do not have a duos mode yet? I'm telling you, as soon as that guy left, we were kind of carrying him. Again, he's playing a glass cannon character and was getting hit by every attack and dying. As soon as he left, this run got so much smoother. Playing this with 2 players feels perfect. They don't even have to change anything, just let us queue up with 2. To me, this felt perfectly balanced. So unless there's just some crazy reason that we don't know about of why we can't just load into a run with 2 people, then it really doesn't make any sense why we don't have it yet. Now, if we're going by the list on their website, Sentient Pest should be the next Everdark Sovereign. That would be the perfect time, like I said in the last video, to drop duos mode, since that is a duo fight. You're fighting 2 bosses at the same time. So I don't know, man, that makes perfect sense to me if they were going to plan to drop it next week at the rotation. Come on now, what are we waiting on? Just give us duos mode. But that is everything pertaining to the new Everdark Sovereign rotation this week. Again, personally, I think this one's a lot easier than last week's. Just get you a good team, be sure your dodges are on point. Like I said, Fulgore is much more deliberate in his attacks than Adele, so it should be a better time for everybody, solos and trios alike. Anyways though guys, that's gonna do it for the video today. If you did enjoy, leave a like on the video. Let me know down below if you beat it already. If you did, congrats. If not, keep on trying, you'll get it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here, and with all that, I will catch you in the next one.